Hey folks, so it is mid-April and I'm in zone 7B, and this morning we got frost. And so we're always at risk of potentially getting some later frost in the season. But by utilizing structures like this, I've been able to already start moving some of my transplants outside. So today what I want to walk through are two mini DIY greenhouses that you can be using to help your plants thrive from day one this season. Alrighty, and as we get started here, if you have any questions at any point, just leave those down in the comment section. I start every one of my days by having a nice hot cup of coffee and answering every question that we get on YouTube, so you'll get a response from us within 24 hours. Now the question really becomes like, why do we want to utilize these DIY greenhouses? And ultimately, it all comes back to warmth. Our plants love a warm environment to be growing in. So when we think about those that we started inside underneath the grow lights, the temperature there has been 20 Celsius for all the daytime hours as well as all of the nighttime hours. But when we move them outside into the garden, especially in early spring, there are going to be days where it's rainy and colder than that during the daytime. And at nighttime, there's potential for it to even be dipping below 10 Celsius. But by utilizing these mini DIY greenhouses, what we're able to do is essentially trap air right around where those plants are and let the sun heat it up. And by utilizing my min-max thermometer, what I've seen is that during the daytime, this can be as much as 10 to 15 Celsius warmer than without it. But then also at nighttime, what I've noticed is that these structures are helping to keep that environment 3 Celsius warmer than the other beds that once again are not protected. And that can really be the difference between a plant surviving through a little bit of a cold snap or ultimately not making it through that period. So the first DIY greenhouse that we're going to build is the one right behind me here. And what we're going to do is first go through all the supplies that we need for that. Let's get to building. So the materials that we need include 7 48-inch pieces of wood, 4 36-inch pieces of wood, 2 34-inch pieces of wood, and 4 32-inch pieces of wood. And then poly for our barrier, staples and screws for connecting it all, and hinges for opening the top. And as we get started here, one caveat that I'm going to make is that I am not a carpenter. I am not a very good woodworker. So what we're going for is function here. And if you want to make things prettier on your end, definitely do so. But that's not what you're getting with this video.
So what we're going to do first is connect 2 of the 48-inch pieces of wood to 2 of the 36-inch pieces of wood. And this is going to serve as the base of the greenhouse. So all that I need to do here is pre-drill 2 holes and then grab 2 of the screws and drill those in. I like to go with 3-inch screws so that's nice and secure. And after that first corner is connected, you're just going to go around to each of the other corners and do the exact same thing so that those first 4 pieces of wood are connected. And so with that first part of the base finished, you can pop it to the side, and then we're going to repeat the exact same process. So 2 more 48-inch pieces of wood getting connected to 2 of the 36-inch pieces of wood. And now with both of those put together, the next thing for us to do is to connect them to form the base of our DIY greenhouse. And for this, we're going to use our 4 32-inch pieces of wood. So connecting the first one can be a little bit tricky, but all that you need to do is basically take the top of the 32-inch piece of wood, line it up with the frame, pre-drill the 2 holes, and then connect it to the frame with 2 screws. And so once that first one is in place, the remainder are really quite easy. All that you need to do now is line up the bottom, pre-drill the holes, screw it in. Easy peasy. And so then once you have the first 2 connected, you can flip it over and then connect the other 2 32-inch pieces of wood to the bottom side of the frame. Alrighty, starting to come together. So next up is wrapping it in the poly. And what I like to do for this is measure out a piece that I know will be big enough to wrap all the way around so that I'm only connecting 1 piece of poly to the frame. Makes it a bit stronger. Once I've measured that out, I cut it and drape it over the top of the frame. And there's going to be a lot of excess at the beginning, so take your time with moving it around and be a little bit patient with it. And all that you need to do here is essentially square it up so that it's running parallel to the frame, and then pop a few staples into the poly to secure it to the frame. Then go over to the other side of that one panel and pull it tight so that there's as little slack in the poly as possible, and then staple that side to the frame. Then you move on to the next panel and you do the exact same thing. Square it up, staple the first side onto the frame, pull it tight on the other side, and then staple it to that far side. And then you do the exact same process for the third panel, super straightforward. So once those first three are done, you can then gently lift it up so that you can access the fourth and final panel and repeat the stapling process. And at the end of this, all four sides are wrapped, with bottom open for where the plants are going to go in and the top open for where we're ultimately going to connect that hinged roof. But there's tons of excess poly here, so grab a pair of scissors and cut it down, leaving about 6 inches of excess that we're going to be stapling to the frame. And so with this excess poly, all that I like to do is simply roll it over and then staple that to the inside of the frame. And I'm sure there's a cleaner and more aesthetic way of going about this, but again, folks, I'm going for function here. And so you're going around the entire frame, just taking each of the little excess areas and stapling it onto the frame until the very end, it's all stapled down, and sure enough, it's starting to look like a DIY greenhouse. So the base complete, now we need to get started on the top. And for this, I'm going to grab 2 of the 48-inch pieces of wood and connect them to our 2 34-inch pieces of wood. And then it's the exact same process in terms of pre-drilling 2 holes and then popping the screws into each of the corners. Now, one super important tip that I've learned the hard way is to make a tick mark at 12 inches, 24 inches, and 36 inches on the 48-inch piece of wood. And we're going to run 3 strips of wood across the top of our roof at these intervals. And the reason for this is because as it rains, the water would pool up on the top of the DIY greenhouse and ultimately get too heavy and rip the poly. Trust me, I learned this one the hard way. So with those 3 pieces connected to the top, all that I need to do now is measure out a piece of poly to cover the top, staple it down, and then begin to make sure it's square and tight. Then I cut away the excess just like before, flip it over, and staple that little bit of extra excess to the bottom side of the roof. And voila, our top is all complete, so let's now pop it on with the hinges. So to do that, I'm going to grab the final 48-inch piece of wood and connect that to the back of the frame. Next, at 16 inches in, I'm going to connect the first hinge to that back strip. And then at 32 inches, I'm going to connect the second hinge. And so once those are connected, I can now grab the roof and slide it onto the DIY greenhouse. I want to make sure it's nice and squared, and then all that I need to do is simply connect the hinges to the roof with a couple of screws.
Alrighty, moment of truth. Does it open? Oh, baby! I mean, come on. Whew, love it. Alrighty, let's pop this over the top of where I'm gonna put some leafy greens. Alrighty, and now this greenhouse is all set, ready to go. We are ready to begin transplanting into this bed right beneath it. And there's 2 reasons why I really love this kind of style of DIY greenhouse. The first one is that we can cut the wood to any size that we want. So if you're working in a smaller raised bed, a larger raised bed, you can make those adjustments. And on top of that, you can make it as tall as you'd like. And the second piece that I really love about these types of DIY greenhouses is of course the hinges, because now on those really hot days, I can just open it up like that and it's going to be able to let any of that excess hot air out. I don't need to be moving it around. Really easy, takes all of, as you saw, 2 seconds. But it's taken me several hours to put together and some power tools that maybe not everybody has. And so this is why I absolutely love the second option. You're gonna be blown away with just kind of how simple it is and how quick and easy it is. And so just before we get to that, for those of you that I have not met before, I'm Jordan from Mind and Soil, where we're looking to introduce 1 million individuals to mindful gardening. So if you're looking for more peacefulness, more joy, more restoration in your life, then I really encourage you to subscribe to our channel here, because on top of the occasional flesh wound, we put out videos every single week to be taking as much of the guesswork out of gardening as possible so that you too can be experiencing just how peaceful, calming, and restorative it is. So now with that being said, let's get into our second and final DIY greenhouse. And on this front, we basically need nothing whatsoever. All that we're doing is driving back to that same hardware store. And then we're going into the storage area. And all that you're looking for is a clear storage tote. And this is effectively exactly what we're looking for in a greenhouse, a sturdy structure that's nice and clear, going to let that sunlight in. One tip here is to go and find the tallest one that you can. And now that I'm back at home, all that I need to do is drill a bunch of holes into it and we are off to the races. Alrighty, so drilling those holes I think took about 10 minutes on top of going to the store. I think we're maybe up to about 18 to 20 minutes in total. And with that, this mini DIY greenhouse is all set, ready to go. So let's move it over to the garden. And voila. So just like that, this one is into the garden doing its thing. So if you're looking for something simple and easy, this is 100% the route to go down. Now, with that being said, the one drawback on this one is that there is no way to open up the top of it, so it will get hot really, really quickly. And because of that, you're going to want to utilize either a regular thermometer or a min-max thermometer inside of it so that you can familiarize yourself with just how warm and how hot it's getting in there. And on those really sunny, hot days, all that you're going to want to do is either open it up completely or pop a little stick into the ground, and then you can rest it on the stick just like that. And that's going to allow some of that warm air to move out, and then you can put it back down and closed as you get into the evening time. But folks, if you utilize these mini DIY greenhouses, your transplants are going to absolutely be loving you and thriving from the beginning of their time in the garden. So if you do have any questions, go ahead and ask those down in the comments. I'll be sure to get an answer to you straight away. Other than that, can't wait to catch you on the next video. And until then, go get those hands dirty.